Hey guys, so today we are going to be reviewing Heist Society by Ali Carter. It is the first book in the Heist Society trilogy. Let's start with the story. The story focuses on Katerina Bishop, Kat for short. She was raised in a family of con artists. She was raised to be a con artist. So at 15, she decides she doesn't want any part of it anymore. She wants out. So she pulls one final con, and that is getting herself into a very prestigious boarding school. That is very short-lived though, because 3 months later, an old co-conspirator of hers, Hale, shows up and has some bad news, and he tells her that a very powerful mobster has been robbed of his priceless art collection. And not only is her father on the list, her father is the list. So she has 2 weeks to pull together a team, find the pieces of art, and steal them back. Otherwise, her father's life is in danger. So that's pretty much what the story is about. I expected to like it a bit more. I thought it was very bland and predictable. I thought up until the ending, the last part of the book where the actual heist was taking place, I got into it a little bit more, but I was hoping that it would be more gripping. There were little parts in the book that were written, you could tell by the way they were written that they were to shock you, but they didn't shock me because I saw them coming. It was very predictable like that, so I didn't really like that. And it was just very flat. The story was very flat for me. One thing that really bugged me was that pretty much every other chapter, it was beat into our head that Katerina left. We know she left. It said it in the book. You know, and that really annoyed me. It was very repetitive. You could have used those pieces of dialogue for something that would have actually benefited the story, but it didn't. So that really annoyed me. So yeah, the plot was very predictable and bland to me up until the end. Let's talk about characters. Let's talk about Kat. She, for the most part, like I said, was very bland. She was very bleh. One thing that I did like about her, though, was her dedication to her father. Every once in a while, Hale would express his concerns, and, you know, for her and for, you know, for his family, and say, well, you know, maybe we could try something else. But she said no. She was like, no, this is how it has to be done. Otherwise, my father is going to get hurt. And she does something at one point in the book that I didn't see it coming. It was very surprising. It was very messed up, but at the same time, she did it to help her father, and so it was very commendable. That's Kat. Let's talk about Hale. I love Hale. He's very sweet. He's very intense, in the fact that he really cares about Kat and that whole family. He really does, and you know, I think he has nothing but their best interest in mind. But he's very sweet at the same time, and he's very considerate of Kat and everyone's feelings. So that's one thing I really liked about him. And he seemed cute in my head. So that's why I liked Hale. The other characters we have are Gabriella, Simon, Angus, and Hamish. I don't know if I pronounced that right. So they were very funny. They were very witty. I really liked their, honestly, I think I liked their characters the most. They were very good supporting characters. Nick, I don't understand his point in the story, to be completely honest. You could have taken him out of the story and everything probably would have gone exactly the same, pretty much, other than a few minor details. So I don't really, and it never really opened it up for him to be in the next book, so because he was only in there for like the last part, so I don't really understand the point of him being there. I mean, I sort of see why he was there, but it doesn't really make a difference, to be completely honest. So that's Nick. The villain we have in this story is Arturo Ticano, and he, as far as villains go, he's probably one of the worst I've ever seen written into a book. Not as an evil, as in he just sucked. He was very gentle and kind, and not in a menacing way. I mean, he had his subtle threats to Katerina about getting his paintings back, but I mean, other than that, he was very nice. Like, there was never a point in the book where I was like, oh, I hate him. I want a character that I can actually invest in and be like, oh, you know, he sucks, he's an evil man, but he was boring. And I think I'm wondering if maybe Ali was trying to write him as a character who was very soft spoken but scary at the same time. Because sometimes that's scarier. Sometimes a very quiet villain is scarier than an intense one. But it didn't work. I didn't work. As for the dialogue, it got better once Gabriella, Simon, Angus, and Hamish came into the picture. The dialogue without them in it, like I said, was kind of bland. They spiced it up a little bit, and once they were really in the picture, I liked the book quite a bit more. Overall, I thought the book was, I liked it, but I didn't like it a lot. So with that, Heist Society by Ali Carter gets a 3 out of 5 for me. I don't think I'm going to be picking up the second book, Uncommon Criminals. I might, maybe, if I have some extra money to spare, which I never do, so I've heard it's a little bit better than this one, so that stinks, because now I'm going to have an incomplete series on my shelf, and I hate that, but I'm not going to go out and buy the book, just so I can have a complete series, because if I don't like it, then there's no point in me buying another one. So yes, Heist Society by Ali Carter, 3 out of 5. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.